Mark, how are you?
It's good to see you, Dan.
He is a chiropractor locally, and virtually everybody who walks into your office is in discomfort or pain or has a mobility issue,
Right.
or any combination thereof. The cane that you may be using right now probably has not changed the design in not just hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, most canes require you to turn your wrist, and if I can, let me get an older style cane. Here's an average style cane that you grip on the top. And if you look at my hand, hold that for a second.
Yep.
My hand right now is in this position. That's very unnatural. We like to reach out like a handshake, and that's what this does. This is called the Campbell. It's an adjustable walking cane. It's a mobility device that makes you more secure, changes your entire vertical center of gravity, and this is what's crazy, changes the way you look when you're walking with it.
And the way you look, that position with the Campbell cane, which brings you more upright, reduces your risks of falling, right? Because where the body or the head goes, the body goes. And in a traditional cane, you'll see that you're leaning forward. That means you're looking at the ground.
Yep.
And that means that's where your gravity wants to go. With a Campbell cane, it's a total change where it's going to be much more upright. You're going to unload the wrist because now you're holding, like you said, like a handshake.
It's just like a, yeah, it's
That's
very natural.
And then it's good. That unloads the wrist, it unloads the shoulder, and it brings your center of gravity up, which means you're looking upright. Chances of falls significantly reduced.
You actually, yeah, you have more stability than ever before. This is what was crazy. When you walk with this thing for just a little while, you'll notice that your bicep, it's kind of firing that bicep muscle a little bit.
Tricep muscle.
On the back.
That's it.
Okay. So as you're walking with this, and by the way, it stands by itself. A cane that falls down is worthless.
Well, and look at the size of the base. Dan, if you wouldn't mind, grabbing the traditional cane, and just look at the base. Look how much larger.
Here's a regular cane. It's just that it's a stick. Regular canes have not changed since man found out leaning on a stick might help a little bit.
And look how wide this base is. And like you mentioned, that base means it's going to stand up on its own. It's going to give you a lot more surface area to make contact with. And again, more stability, more mobility.
This is so funny. I get excited about this, and I'm telling you, and it's like, wait a minute, you're the doctor who knows this better than me. If you've ever needed help to assist you in getting out of a chair or getting into a car seat, this is amazing. Listen, I don't know if you have an older member of your family that has had some difficulties and walks with a cane. I'm 58 years of age and had a cane in my life for a year and a half. And I was extraordinarily frustrated. And this is a solution. It's now, by the way, it adjusts up to 10 different heights.
10 different heights.
You're
I'm 6'6". Right, and so for most canes are not even close to being my size.
Yeah, now that would be just a little,
how are you?
little high for you, because the whole idea is you want your arm at a 90-degree angle.
But I can adjust it, right?
Yeah.
It's lightweight, it's so stable, and like you touched on, Dan, it's not just for walking, it's helping that transition from getting out of a seated position and being upright.
You know, I hate to put it this way, and just forgive me. Old people carry canes.
Now listen.
Young people have walking sticks.
But listen,
do you know what I mean?
You know what?
It's more of a walking stick,
I played soccer for many years, and
Right.
I mean, you know, we have knee replacement surgeries, hip replacement surgeries. If you've rolled your ankle, you're on a cane, you're on an assisted device for a period of time. So I mean, to have it adjustable. Also, this price.
Yeah, it's
have you ever seen the prices of canes?
You know,
Not at this price.
this is one of the reasons why I love Mark so much. He's a doctor. He understands the system.
Wonderful.
It seems to be in the medical world. If you need it, you're going to pay for it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
We've got this for under $30, and we give you a 30-day money-back guarantee on virtually everything that we present. So if you have someone who walks with a cane trying this, you have 30 days. If it doesn't help you, you send the thing back. But I got to tell you, it's a revolutionary new way of thinking about a walking stick or a cane.
Well, like you touched on earlier, you know, when I in my profession, a lot of the older population are going to wear cane, are going to use canes, the traditional canes, or at least they have until I really started showing them the Campbell cane. And it's it's a stigma. It's like I don't want to have to wear that because old people use canes.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're willing to risk actually a slip and fall because they don't want that. When with the Campbell cane, because it is more of like that walking stick, they feel like, you know what? Hey, no one's going to think I'm an old person. They're going to think I'm an active person, and I get to go do those things that I really miss mostly in my life.
And the whole idea of having a cane is to be more active.
That's exactly it.
So it's a brilliant, brilliant design. We can show you exactly how, and we've got it set up for a different height for you than you would for me or Dr. Mark for you. And it's a very natural gait, but it makes you stand straight up. and your line of sight is out and straight ahead.
And just take a look at the wrist here. So the wrist is going to be in a more neutral position, and the elbow is going to be in a more neutral position. So this activates the muscles of the tricep, which is on the back of the arm. So it really does a great number for those arthritic wrists. It unloads that. And then it's the center of gravity. It's really, look where she's looking. She's looking straight ahead. That means when you're going to go walk somewhere, you're looking at the people that you're going to go and see. You're walking and looking, seeing.
Let's also, I want to show some before and afters.
Sure.
Okay? And it's the difference between a regular cane, and we're going to have to step a little bit to this side, Dr. Mark, but it's a little bit different. There's the original cane and a natural position with the cane. And you find yourself pushing down on that cane.
Yeah, and so you can only imagine how much pressure that puts on the wrist. And an arthritic wrist, that is uncomfortable. That is pain. And that's where you start to come up with excuses not to wear that or to use it. Same thing with the shoulder. So with the Campbell cane, she's more upright. Her center of gravity and the balance that she has is going to be more normal. And it's going to unload that wrist. It's going to unload that shoulder. And it's going to make walking way more comfortable.
How many times, as a doctor, have you had people who, because of their mobility issues, walking with a cane, come to you and then complain of other aches, illness,
Oh, sure. Well, I see that happens.
They compound themselves.
Right. And they're going to come in and say, you know what, I had to give my cane a rest today because my wrist was hurting. And the other thing that happens, though, too, is I've seen people who've used canes and have actually slipped and fall. Because, again, if I'm on a normal cane and I'm forward here and I happen to lose my balance because my head's, I'm going. And again, with the Campbell cane, it's going to bring you so upright. I mean, I'm 6'6". It's going to bring my center of gravity back. And if I lose it, I'm right on top of my body already. I can get my balance and I can stay mobile.
In motorsports, I learned about vertical center of gravity.
That's it.
And that's how you balance a race car with you in it. But I never thought about that concept in walking with a cane. A regular cane, again, is virtually nothing more than a stick and hasn't changed. This new Campbell posture cane can make a big difference in helping you to be more mobile. And it does, to me, look to me more like a walking stick than it does a cane.
Well, and that's going to, again, no one walks completely
Look at her, she's
forward.
straight up and down.
That's it, and the cane's there to help
straight up and
get
down
her up.
instead of leaning against the cane.
It's all about positioning of the body, right? It's called your ergonomics, right? So something that's ergonomic is built for how you move. With the Campbell cane, it's much more built for our bodies. It's much more built for the lifestyles that we want to live. It's being upright. Look at her head. Look how nicely her head's right over her body. That means she's balanced and more stable.
I'll also tell you something else, and I could be wrong. Correct me. Mary, I want your opinion on this one as well. You know, when I was a little kid, 50 years of age was really old, right?
I'm correcting you there. That is not old.
Okay, but do you know what I mean? Nowadays, the Rolling Stones are on concert. They're in their 70s. That is the greatest thing. Age has changed.
Age has changed.
Mobility has changed. And mobility is the definition of youthfulness. So this gets people out, gets them moving. You know, listen, some of us have aches and pains and ailments and scrapes, and you ignore them, you keep going, you have the right tools to keep having fun. I think this is a brilliant solution.
Lighter weight for that stable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this thing's, I can do all different types of.
Well, thank you, Fred Astaire. Dr. Mark, we've had 1,600 of you on the phone line. Just try it. If you're someone who has some mobility issues, just try it. I think you're going to be pleased. So good to see you.
Thanks, Dan.
Be well.
All right, good seeing you.
Bye-bye.